In the Florida Keys, where the hurricane is expected to make landfall on Sunday morning between Marathon and Key West, emergency officials girded for a direct hit and residents who did not evacuate began to take cover as the winds kicked up sharply Saturday afternoon. The Keys, a thin chain of low-lying islands, are especially vulnerable to Hurricane Irma's anticipated powerful tidal surges. The ocean is expected to rise and hurtle into buildings and houses near the coast. Pine Island, north of Key West, was already seeing rising seas at noon. Some canals were spilling their bounds and emergency responders were evacuating to the upper Keys. But the worst could come after the hurricane moves on. Keys residents could find themselves isolated from the mainland if any one of their 42 bridges gets damaged. Residents and emergency officials would be cut off from food, gas, and other supplies because there would be no easy way of reaching them by road. Just think about the Keys for a second, Mr. Scott warned residents at a recent news conference. If we lose one bridge, everything south of the bridge, everybody's going to be stranded. It's going to take us a while to get back in there to try to provide services. A hurricane watch took effect for the entire Georgia coast on Saturday, and a mandatory evacuation order covered most of the coast. Officials warned of the potential for high winds and storm surge even as Irma's forecasted path seemed likely to spare the region from the worst. "Run from the water, hide from the wind," said Dennis Jones, the Director of Emergency Management in Chatham County, which contains Savannah. "Our focus is to get you out of the threat." Hundreds of people lined up outside of the convention center in Savannah, waiting for school and coach buses to evacuate them out of the city. Cuba gets a direct hit. Irma slammed into Cuba on Friday night as a Category 5 hurricane, causing widespread destruction. Meteorologists were expecting the storm to tack north earlier, and were not predicting a direct hit. The eye of the storm passed directly through the archipelago of Keys on the northern coast in the central part of the island.